Hello, everyday leaders. It's Friday. It is March the 25th. And as promised, today we're bringing you an inspirational youth leader. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. So here we are. It is Friday, March 25th. We have so much going on the platform of Everyday Leaders. It is the first quarter of the year. And my goodness, if you guys have not already developed strategies to overcome obstacles in your life, stay tuned because we have got some big things happening in 2022. Today, I wanted to make a couple of announcements before we get started here with our special guest. If you've been following me, a couple of books that I have released this week are The Voices for Leadership. That was a partnership with Brian Brogan and 40 authors, and we are sharing our voices for leadership. My chapter is about community development and community partnerships. And then I just saw a notification that I'm getting a shipment of The Impact of Influence, Volume 3. It's coming today onto my porch. So if you ordered that, I am going to be autographing those and getting those out to you as soon as possible. Look for some book signings that are coming up in the community here where we can connect and I can share all of my great things that are happening and how we're going to lift you in the community as leaders this year. Doing some special things, live events, and so watch for us. Stay tuned. You can subscribe to everydayleaders.com to get all of the latest information. So my big announcement today is we have with us an incredible youth leader. Now, I attended the John Maxwell, now the Maxwell Leadership International Certification meeting a couple of weeks ago. And during that event, if you're a part of the John Maxwell tribe, you know that we have opportunities for stage time to actually tell our stories. We are mentored by amazing coaches, speakers, trainers that pour into us to help us communicate our stories of our heart and of our journeys. So I met this next guest at stage time. Her name is Jessie Terry. She is an amazing youth leader. And the more I got to know about her, the more I realized we needed to celebrate her today on Everyday Leaders Live. So here she comes. I'm going to play a little introduction first and stay tuned. Stay in your seats. Watch this. And
did you enjoy that war? That what you were looking for? Ladies and gentlemen, all three judges scored the bout for your winner by unanimous decision. Jessie the Machine Gun Terry!
Oh my goodness. So you get a little flavor. A beauty pageant contestant with a big pageant coming up here soon, an author, an influencer, and let's bring her on. Jessie Terry, welcome to Everyday Leaders.
Thank you so much for having me. That video makes me excited. I'm like, did I win every time I see it?
It's incredible. You know, when we started talking about your journey, I thought, oh my gosh, you just look so like a little plastic doll. You look like a Barbie doll that would never do anything to like, okay, I'm going to push this envelope. I'm going to, feel like I can do something that is going to look completely different than our outside. And that's what we know about leadership, right? It comes from the inside of us on what we do and what we believe. So thank you for joining us today. I am so excited. I've got lots of things to share with our guest. If you're watching, real quick before we get into Jessie's story, if you have followed us on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, anywhere that you're watching today, there are notes inside of the announcement. click on those links. You can follow her. We're going to share about what she's doing, and we would love your support for the things that are happening in 2022. So, Jessie, tell us about your passion. I know you're in Hot Springs, Arkansas, and that's where you live. And tell us about, what you're doing right now, how old you are, what you're involved in, and let the community hear your voice.
Yes. So actually, I'm 22 years old. I'm Jessie Terry. I'm running for Miss Arkansas USA in 2 weeks from tomorrow. I'm crazy excited. My title is Miss Hot Springs, so I'm representing my city. I just published my seventh children's book, and I've just got a lot going on. I still kickbox when I get the opportunity, but my agent doesn't really like that I fight while modeling, so I have to balance the two. And with this pageant coming up, I've been given lots of opportunities to be on podcasts, and I'm so happy to be here today. It's amazing.
This is so much fun. Talk to us about being an author. I have done some contributing author books, and I think it's so much fun to share your story. Tell us about the projects that started to inspire you to become an author.
Yeah, so I've got two nieces that are under the age of 10. And when I was 18, they actually moved in with me temporarily. And I was watching as these kids were just playing on their phones. And I thought, where's the creativity? Where's the imagination? So I started writing this story about this little monster. And he goes to a school where creativity is not allowed. And they have to use their gifts and talents to bring it back into the school. And one book after the next, 4 years later, I've written 7 children's books, and each one has the background of inspiring creativity and getting off the phone for little kids, because
Wow.
that's such a important thing for kids, is to use their imaginations again.
Yep. I'm going to share the screen here if I can get to it. I just want to share what you've been doing. This book that she's talking about is the Bubba's Dentist Adventure Book Drive. And I think this is amazing. Tell us about how this started.
Yeah, so one of my friends, her husband owns a nutrition center that I am an affiliate with. I get to help promote them, and I found out she owns a preschool. And I thought, well, that's cool. And she had asked me to come and read, and I thought, I cannot go empty-handed. So I said, okay, well, I'm going to start this drive and see how it goes. And within 15 hours, I had raised all the money to buy a book for each child at the preschool. I actually have a copy of the book here, but I have 35 books coming next week that I'll be able to take to give to the kids when I read to them. And they have no idea. It's a complete surprise. So
Oh my
it was
God.
only 6 people who contributed, but I was so excited to see that in just 15 hours I had raised $225.
Wow. See, that's the thing, right? Anything that you put your mind to, if you get behind it with the right spirit and the right attitude, you can accomplish anything. This is such a big deal. And the process of figuring out like what the kids, what the audience wanted to learn about. And so you just started, you have so much creativity in your body, first of all, to say, can I make a difference? Right?
I actually had, when COVID hit, I ended up having to homeschool my nieces because my sister is amazing. She works a full-time job while taking care of 3 kids. And I thought, well, I need to be able to help her out. So as I was around them, they sparked so many ideas without realizing it. Like, well, what about this little monster? What about this pig? And it was all these ideas that just going through my head. And it just made me appreciate what teachers do on a daily basis to pour into the lives of young kids. And I thought, I need to do something they can take into their classroom. So that was a big creativity part, was having my nieces around and being able to raise them while I was doing my senior year of high school at 18, homeschooling. That was, I am so grateful for moms. I don't know how they do it. It is a gift.
Well, you're amazing. Most kids that are growing up, and I know you've had such a fortunate family, so that you've been able to do some amazing things. And when you say you have multiple book projects, and now leading you into raising money for this year, and I want to share your toy drive because you're doing some great things for 2022. And so I want to share that, but I'm also going to share the links here in the chat. So bear with me here real quick, and I want to share this screen. I want you to talk to us about the toy drive that you have coming up, and this is the Amazon link that I'm going to post here as well. So you can go to that and get involved and help support Jessie's cause.
Yeah, so last year I noticed a lot of my friends, their children were being diagnosed with these diseases and cancer, and I thought, what are these kids going to do on Christmas morning, and these parents when they wake up and they don't have a gift for their child. So it started on a napkin, this idea. I thought I'm going to do something for the children's hospital. And within a couple weeks I just said, well, I'll just start buying some toys. I was doing some babysitting jobs to make extra money, and I was putting all the money towards buying toys. And then when that I got on Amazon, I realized I could do a gift registry. And when people bought the toys, they would come directly to my house. I thought maybe I'll get 50, 60 toys, but my goal was 500. So I started asking some of my friends who own businesses if I could just put a box in their store. And by the end of December, I had raised 780 toys to give to the children's hospital. But this year, I want to support a different cause each year. So this year was the Children's Hospital. My goal is 2,000 toys this year. I want to help a foster care center. I want to do some angel trees, and I want to donate some toys to a crisis pregnancy center. That way each year I'm being able to support a different cause that's helping children. So 2,000 toys, and I already have 100 sitting in my closet taking over. I can't even get in there. It's ridiculous.
This is amazing. But how do you think about your heart? Because your heart is thinking of others first. And that's the message that I want to send to people today. That if you have an idea, how did you get started who helped you kind of collaborate and say, this can be bigger? This isn't just my idea, but I can help more people by getting others involved.
Yeah, well, if you look in the Bible, it talks about God always put the little children first, and he always served the little kids and the orphans and widows. And my parents have always instilled Christian values into my life. So they were a huge contributing factor. My mom says, why would you just do such a small number? Shoot for 1,000. So I thought, okay, I can get 1,000 toys. I still only got 780. And she goes, Jessie, you got 780. Don't beat yourself up about it. That's 780 toys that each child is going to receive. So they were always pushing me to not do the bare minimum, but to overachieve and do even more. Because when you're serving others, then you always want to give all your heart. And when other people see that, when you start serving, God starts blessing you. When you're making things about yourself, it's going to make much of a difference. But when you're serving others, then it just blows up in your face, and you have to take over your sister's room who just moved out and put all the toys in there and then rent a U-Haul to the children's hospital. I mean, we had to take a U-Haul truck, and we could barely shut the door. It was amazing.
That is so awesome. I think, today I want people to be inspired. I want them to connect to you. I want them to realize that they can do this themselves. All they need to do is reach down into their heart and think about what is right in front of me, what is in my community, what can I do to help and serve others, and take that one step. If you need to get connected to inspiration, this is the girl to do it. You are 22 years old and you are changing lives. You are making a difference for hundreds and thousands of people. We just appreciate and celebrate you so much, Jessie, because this is only the beginning of your story. This is only the beginning. When you are, oh my goodness, when you say, I know you take care of your nieces and nephews there, you're getting ready to be involved in this pageant. So talk to us about the process of this, how you got inspired to start being in pageants, and what you're excited about.
It's actually a funny story. When I was little, I despised pageantry. I thought it was a bunch of little bratty kids that got on stage and put on this fake teeth and smiled. But when I was 18, an ad popped up on Facebook, and it says, "You could be the next Miss USA." And when I was 18, I was going to Africa and I was going to Guatemala, and I was serving in other countries as a missionary. And I thought, well, if I won the crown, that could open up so many doors. So I thought, if I just buy a dress and if I just walk on stage, that's all it takes. I was so mistaken. When I got there, I was wearing a prom dress. All these girls were wearing, my mom had made it, so it was beautiful, but it was a prom dress. And I was upset. I saw all these girls wearing these gorgeous beaded designer gowns, and I thought, what am I doing? I had a broken toe, I had the flu, and I thought, this is insane. thought, but I'm going to take it as a learning experience. So I was just giving it everything I got, talking to people, telling them these big dreams, and they thought, wow, that's amazing. And I didn't place, but I ended up making Spirit Award for having the best attitude. And despite having a broken toe, I was feeling pretty good about myself, and just seeing how much these girls put into work of, you have to get ready for interview, you have a cause championing, you have to be physically in shape. It's not about you have to be the skinniest, prettiest girl. It's about demonstrating a healthy lifestyle. I competed again last year. I thought, well, I've got my ideas established. I know what I want to do. And I ended up making honorable mention, and they told me, you got to come back and compete. So I gave everything I had to the last year of just getting ready, because I mean, it's going to open so many doors, winning the crown, getting to serve so many more people. So I got an amazing pageant coach. My mom handmade every single one of my outfits. And I've been walking in heels more than I could ever imagine. I got 6-inch heels, and I'm just like, man, my feet hurt, but it's so worth it. It's not just about being a pretty girl who smiles on stage. It's knowing what you want to do with your life and leaving a legacy to the next title holder, because you're only a pageant queen for 1 year, and whatever you do needs to be left to the next girl to take on and serve another group of girls too. So it's amazing. It's not anything like I saw it on Toddlers and Tiaras at all.
Well, I love it. Your heart is so big, and I know that this is gonna open up so many doors for you, even competing, even saying that you were a part of this process, because as the John Maxwell Leadership Youth, you were traveling and influencing and inspiring people all over the world already. And I know when you see this, when you have a vision, like John Maxwell always tells us, right? When you can view what you wanna do, you're gonna figure out a way to get there. The how is going to come next. And having this faith-based heart that you can
Exactly.
serve, it's going to it's just going to be an amazing journey for you.
Thank you. And the pageant is not my end goal. When you get into a pageant, they ask you questions, and that's what they ask you for interview. And it said, what do you want to do in the next 5 years? And I've known what I wanted to do for the next 5 years since I was 6 years old. My ultimate goal is to have an international playground company, because when you're little, you have to have playtime to develop, and that's what all the creativity books and things are about. I want to travel internationally, go to schools where kids might have disabilities, and kids might not be able to afford that kind of luxury, but kids they need they need to play. I want to be able to have all these playgrounds for kids so no one feels left out. Kids with disabilities should be able to play just as much as someone who with two working legs. They should have the same amount of playtime. So I've already got my 501c3 set up. I've got my whole logo designed from a guy in the Philippines who helped me see my vision and put it on paper. And it's been incredible. Now I'm just waiting for God to open up that door, and I'm making myself ready for when that happens. I've got blueprints. I've got a place in Arkansas that develops grounds. So right now I'm just going to look that would let me my first one. That's what I wanted to do since I was 6 years old. It's a crazy big dream, but it's a God dream when it's bigger than you can put into reality.
Yep.
Sure.
Those God-sized dreams are real, and you are just a living testimony of that. That's why I love
Oh yeah,
celebrating
and
you.
thank you, thank you. It's just so much bigger than me. And when we were at the John Maxwell conference a couple years ago, there was this amazing girl who had come. Her name was Shuli, and she got on stage with one of the other ladies, and she began sharing how she wanted to go back to where she was adopted from, and prime minister, and to transform her nation. And she is my age, and I thought, my playground dream isn't crazy. People were telling me that could never happen. How are you going to raise the money for that? But after hearing Shuli speak and seeing the goals and dreams and the passion she had in her eyes, we've become best friends. And she's just always constantly pouring into my life, and having another person my age that will speak into me. It's nice to have people that are older that are speaking into your life, but to find someone who matches your vision, it's just amazing. For sure.
So
If
how
you
do
haven't connected with her, even just following her on social media will change your life.
how do you what's your tip for people that are watching this that are in your age group, in your generation that say, I don't know how I can bring this dream to reality. I don't know how to take that first step. I'm not sure how to build a community that really can believe in my dream. What would you tell them?
Yeah. Well, I would say that social media is a tool and it can also be a very negative thing. The reason that I've had so much exponential growth is because I started being consistent on social media and I would see, well, I'm only getting one like, I'm only getting this or that. And it's not about the likes. When I went to the John Maxwell conference, I found out all these people were watching and I was inspiring people. I would say to do not give up on your dream. If God put a dream in your heart, it will come to pass. It may take 5 minutes, it may take 50 years, but don't let anyone tell you otherwise. If you think it's crazy and huge, then it's probably something from God. So do not let anyone talk you out of it. I still don't know how I'm going to become this playground company designer that goes international. I still doubt myself sometimes, but I have to remember God didn't place the dream in my heart for me to go, well, I can't handle it. I can't handle it. That's why I have to have people around me. And you may be an entrepreneur, being a person of influence can be some of the most lonely moments you will ever have in your life. But in the end run, it all pays off because you're getting to serve other people, and that makes it so worth it for sure. So there's my tip for you and everyone watching.
That is so awesome. Jessie, what do you hope to accomplish? I know that you're going to influence a lot of lives even through this pageant here coming up in a couple of weeks. What's the date of that so we can watch and stay tuned to you?
It's April 9th and April 10th. So April 9th is the preliminary, and April 10th is the interview and final competition and crowning. So I can post a link in the comments. It's called pageant.com. So you can actually watch live on there, or you can buy a ticket and come visit. It'll be in Fort Smith, Arkansas. It's going to be
That's
awesome.
that's awesome. Yes, post on here and then we will post
I
it in the feed. Oops.
Yeah, perfect. And you said what I hope to accomplish.
Yes.
My by I'm doing is that my life is a life that showed this was evident. It's not about the success or the title. It's living a life that demonstrates that I love Jesus and I was able to lead people to him. I don't care about the success or the fame. It's all about showing the love of Jesus. That
Mm.
is the ultimate goal.
You have an amazing heart.
Or maybe having some chocolate too to go with
Yeah.
it. Thank you.
You you just, you ooze leadership. You know, when John tells us the story of somebody asked him, "Who's the greatest leader of all times?" And he says, "Jesus." That was easy, right? And so if we can try to live in faith and live our best life every single day, to try to give, to try to be servants, to try to understand what our purpose is, it really is going to make our life a lot easier. And so I think sometimes we just get it complicated. You're 22. I look back and say, "Oh my gosh," to think about all the things that are going to come to you because you have such clarity on what your vision is and how you want to serve. So I want to encourage people that if they don't know you, if they haven't followed you, Jessie Terry, go to Instagram, Facebook, all of her social media platforms and get connected to her heart and let's follow her, let's cheer her on and because great people do great things with great people around them and having this inner circle of really the world to say, I see your vision, I celebrate you, we lift it up and we want to encourage you to go out and change the world, Jessie Terry. You are an incredible leader. I am just so honored to know you, to have you, to host you here today. I would like for you to come back and share your experience from the pageant if you would, if you have time, and tell us, you know, what's next and keep us posted on your journey here with Everyday Leaders.
Yeah, I would be happy to. I've got big things coming up. I've got something I'm working on that I cannot share. I've had people tell me, just say it's amazing. I'm like, I can't say it until after the pageant. It's this huge thing I'm working on, but you're supposed to leave something to share with the judges. Oh, I'm holding back so hard, but I do have a lot to share in the coming weeks for sure.
Well, that is so great. Can you leave us any last words, any encouragement for people that are, again, like I said, they're just wondering about what they can do to impact the world? Give us just one more little snippet of this is from Jessie Terry. Go out and conquer it.
I would say that even if you impact just one person, you lived a life that was amazing. All it takes is one person to blame. So go out, be an influence, even if you're just spreading Jesus into your children. That's all that matters. It's just one person it takes to change the world, and that person can be you.
That person can be you. That person can be you. What a great way to leave our legacy, Jessie. We appreciate you so much. Best of luck to you coming April 9th and 10th. We know whatever the results are, you're going to make impact in so many lives. And so we just celebrate you today. We're so proud of you. And now you're in the tribe of everyday leaders because that's exactly what we are, is doing things every day. I've got a special little clip here. My friend Chip Baker, I want to introduce you to him. He lives in Texas. He's down in Conroe, Houston, Texas, and he is the one of the visionaries from The Impact of Influence, many volumes, and he had a message, and so I wanted to play that for you here right now.
Hello, this is Chip Baker of Chip Baker, The Success Chronicles, and I was asked, what does an everyday leader mean to me? To me, I think an everyday leader is one that strives to give their all every day to make a positive difference in the lives of others. And I think when you do that, you make significant success and you leave a legacy. So go get it.
And that's Chip. That's his heart. That's what he believes. I know that he is excited to connect to you too, Jessie, because he lifts and celebrates people that are living their lives with success. Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for joining us.
He could do a commercial for Colgate. He is like bright and shining teeth. That would be perfect for a Colgate.
He's amazing. So I'm going to connect you to him live because that's what needs to happen next. And we're going to continue to celebrate you. Again, if you guys need to get a hold of Jessie Terry, find her on social media. Let's celebrate her. Let's continue to follow her journey. And Jessie, thank you so much for joining us today, giving us your time, and best of luck to you. Keep us posted on everything that you're doing.
Thank you.
Have a great weekend. And remember to be everyday leaders in your life. It's about consistency. It's about using your heart for leadership. It's about doing those things, taking those steps that seem scary. But you need to get, just like Jessie's talked to us today, take that step, get those people involved in your life. See your vision from your heart. Use your faith to feed everything that you see. It can happen. It's just right there. Just reach out and touch it and make it happen in your life today. Thanks, Jessie. Have a great weekend. And we will see you back real soon here on Everyday Leaders Live. Have a great day.
Did you enjoy that war? That what you were looking for? Ladies and gentlemen, all three judges scored the bout for your winner by unanimous decision, Jessie the Machine Gun Terry.
All right, Jessie, thank you again. Have a great weekend, and thank you for being an everyday leader in your life every day.